I think I've been aware of Helicon for some time, and I'm a realtor, and I've seen some houses I've looked at where they've had work done by Helicon, and they had good reports and all that, so I had a good opinion of them previously. We had gotten 2 other estimates prior to calling Helicon, and the reason we selected Helicon is that when Doug came out, he was the most professional. He also was the most confident, and we were so impressed. We just knew when we got the estimate it was just going to be too high, we wouldn't be able to afford it, and it was actually extremely competitive, and we went with all those recommendations, and we've been very happy with everything we've done with the work so far. Well, we actually had 2 projects. So we had almost kind of 3 projects. So our first one was having the soil stabilized behind our seawall, and we worked with Renee. And the experience with Renee was awesome. He called in advance to let us know what time he'd like to come out. Again, made sure there was access to the seawall, if there were any gates or things like that. Then the morning of the project, he called in advance to let us know he was on his way. And then when he arrived with his team, they were all very professional, and he was very personable, explained the process to us. He showed us all the photos and what we'd be receiving in our report. Really, again, confirmed Doug's opinion about our seawall looking really great, and we were a perfect project for the technology they were using that day. And it was very exciting to have it done. And what we realized, what we learned from Renee after the project was completed, is that our seawall was a little more in trouble than we realized, but by doing the process, we were able to prevent further erosion and damage to it. So we're really extremely happy we did it, and Renee and his team were, again, awesome and very professional. The second project we had done was we have a brick wall, and due to nearby construction, the wall was leaning. It was like the leaning wall of San Miguel, and it was concerning. And so we received estimates to either tear it down and rebuild it. But when Doug was out looking at our seawall, I asked him, kind of just as a second thought, can you guys do anything with this wall? And he said, oh, absolutely. He said, we can stabilize it, get it straight, and you'll never have any more trouble with it again. Again, his confidence, his knowledge of the technology was very reassuring, and it was a very competitive quote with a great deal. With the great thing about using the technology Helicon has is that the project was completed in 1 day, not 3 to 4 weeks. So it was really awesome, and the wall looks great. We've just had the whole thing painted, and we're very happy with that. And the last part of our projects with Helicon was with Scott, who was on the dive team that came in to drill the weep holes. Again, his knowledge and experience were amazing, and he gave us a great report at the end of his project about the condition of our seawall, and it looked really good. And it was good to have that confidence and to hear his details about the condition of our seawall and how the weep holes that he installed would be maintained and how easy they were to help make sure that we had good maintenance of our seawall. So it was all excellent. The project went as planned. Like I mentioned with Renee on our seawall, we realized that there were more gaps behind the seawall than we had known previously, but he could tell by the process as he was injecting the material into the soil that there were big pockets of air. So we were doing it at the right time for sure. We have not noticed any new things. We have that peace of mind knowing that the seawall is now protected against future soil erosion. Isaiah and his team, what they did after the project is walk around with my husband and I and really showed us how the new construction near our property could possibly impact soil erosion into the future, and gave us great recommendations to protect our home as well as the wall. And so we have noted that we've already contacted others to come in and bring in more soil and sod to help remove water away from our home, and we are having gutters installed. So through the process to fix the seawall, Isaiah and the team shared with us future problems that could arise if we don't take preventative measures, and we really appreciated that very much. When Renee was here, I asked if there were any potential dangers or anything, and he explained with the technology that was being used that no, there really weren't any. And again, it kind of just gave us that reassurance that would put our minds at ease. With the underpinning on our wall, when we were getting our other estimates, the comments I received were like, well, it's a 50-50 shot, it could collapse, or it may not. But however, when Helicon came out, when Doug gave us the estimate, I asked, was there any risk? He goes, no, we will straighten your wall and there's no risk of anything. And when I think it was Isaiah that came out with the seawall, with the underpinning with the wall, and he explained to us that they have to be very delicate with the work. It had to go very slowly to ensure there'd be no damage to the wall. And the underpinnings would secure it into perpetuity. And again, he and his team, Isaiah, and I think one of his team members was Shimmy, and again, they explained to us the importance of moving very slowly with that project, and so they did everything properly, they took their time, and I even realized that both of our columns on that wall were at a great angle. They were definitely leaning quite a bit, and so our concerns about any possibility of the wall being damaged or breaking were put at ease, knowing that Isaiah and his team were being very cautious and were very aware of that, but had the confidence to back it up and get the job done well. I would recommend Helicon without a hesitation. I've actually left Helicon's sign in my front yard through the process, which, I do that because I'm proud of them, and if my neighbors want to ask me about the work that they've done, which they have, I've already shared that with a number of the neighbors, they were very impressed, and I don't have any hesitation, and the entire process went very well from the first time we got our quote, communicating with the office in advance to schedule it. The payment process was easy, and all the workers that came out, the people in charge, were very knowledgeable, very personable, very thoughtful. They left the work environment clean. They were excellent, and I would recommend Helicon without hesitation.